From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
Starting off at 6 o'clock with breaking news out of Winston-Salem, where someone within the last hour has shot a 16-year-old girl.
Detectives are still trying to piece together exactly how this unfolded and what led up to the shooting. But here's what we know at this hour. Officers say she was shot in the area of 20th Street and Harrison Avenue. That is not too far from University Parkway. Officials say she is expected to be okay, and they say they do not think that the girl was targeted. They are still trying to figure out exactly where the crime scene is. Meantime, detectives say there isn't any reason to believe that anyone else is in danger.
Tonight in 12 Investigates, a former photography company based out of Charlotte suddenly shut down, leaving quite a few customers without their precious photos and with plenty of questions about what to do next.
Absolutely. Leanne Denier has been digging into this story for the last few weeks. She's live outside the former Winston-Salem location with an update. Leanne.
Well, after our first story ran, we got lots of emails from folks wondering what they could do next to try and get their hands on their pictures. And then today we got an email from Elena Yanez, and we'll let her pick up the story from there. Elena Yanez is a photographer.
It could have been somebody's baby's first Christmas.
She believes there's something special about capturing moments. Moments time doesn't give you back.
You know, all this stuff, it's going to be trash pretty much. Because, I mean, I don't know what the landlord's going to do with it.
Photography company Portrait Innovations abruptly shut down its studios all around the country, including here in the Triad. Winston-Salem customer Ashley Hemrick had hoped to have a matching set of photographs of her 3 children, all taken the same way at Portrait Innovations.
It was very important to have that picture of her.
But the shots of her daughter Mary were gone, just like the jobs of former Portrait Innovations employees.
She told me, you know, give her a reference, use her as a reference, but the company was no longer, that I didn't have a job to come back to. This is Christmas.
As she figures out her next step, Yanez is trying to connect customers with what's left behind before it's thrown out.
To try to just do it, get it done, and get customers' pictures to them.
She says some photos do have phone numbers attached, but that she struggled to reach other customers, leaving their memories scattered on the floor.
Hello.
Ashley.
Yes.
Hey, so I'm at Portrait Innovations right now in Greensboro. And guess what we just found? We were able to reach one former customer. They're here, the one on the chair that you were looking for. Because while you can't get time back, sometimes, thanks to a little kindness, you can get your photos.
Thank you so much. I mean, I don't have words for this. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. So we'll get you in contact with Elena and we'll get you guys sorted out. So Elena said she is going to be around this week, but they do have to work quickly to try to get people the pictures that are left back. We're going to have her email address on our website here in just a few minutes. So if you had pictures done in November or December, think that they might be there, go ahead and shoot her an email, and hopefully you two can get in touch. Reporting in Winston-Salem, Leanne Denier, WXII 12 News.
Good stuff. Thanks, Leanne. And if you have a tip for our investigative team, send an email to Leanne. Her email address is on the screen, ldenier@hearst.com. You can also find her on Facebook.
Around the world, emotional tributes and memorials show the major impact that Kobe Bryant had, not just on the game of basketball, but also on the lives of friends, teammates, and fans. And he inspired so many with his Mamba mentality.
Of course, Kobe, his 13-year-old little girl, and 7 other people were killed over the weekend after a helicopter crashed in Southern California. Now tonight, investigators are trying to figure out why, what went wrong. This is drone video of the crash site. FBI forensic specialists joined the NTSB team out there today. Investigators say the debris field is extraordinarily large, so they too are using drones to try to map the crash site.
New video appears to show Kobe Bryant's helicopter before it crashed on Sunday. Investigators say dense fog was reported around the time that the chopper left Orange County. They are looking for photos of the weather conditions to try to piece together exactly what may have happened.
Kobe played his entire NBA career with the Los Angeles Lakers, and when he retired a few years ago, he and his family stayed in the city. It's where he and his wife were raising all of their daughters.
And people in LA are carrying around heavy hearts, I should say, this week, and out of respect for the entire family in that growing community. Tonight's game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the LA Clippers is now postponed.
A college baseball coach was also killed in that crash. Today's season opener at Orange Coast College is set to begin with a moment of silence in honor of John Altobelli, his wife, and their daughter. Altobelli had been a part of the baseball program for nearly 3 decades there. Friends and players say he was a caring man, had a big heart. Altobelli became friends with Kobe Bryant through the Mamba Sports Academy. Their daughters played basketball together. People all over the world are grieving Kobe Bryant's death. His legacy is bigger than basketball, and social media made a lot of fans feel closer to him, like they really knew who he was. A local social worker says sudden, unexpected deaths like his often cause people to wrestle with their own mortality.
9 people got on the helicopter, and those 9 people had a plan to make their destination, and they never made it there. And so that makes us all think about our own mortality. Every day, every hour, every minute is a gift. And we're all facing that very closely now.
Counselors say grieving with other people is a way to help accept what has happened. Tonight at the bottom of the hour on NBC Nightly News, more on the vigils and memorials that continue to pop up, not just in Los Angeles, but quite literally all over the world. Also, Tom Costello speaks with the NTSB as the investigation into the cause of this wreck continues.
Happening now in the Triad, people living in Winston-Salem can weigh in on potential changes to the landscape of the city government. The first of 3 public input sessions started just a few minutes ago, and you can share your opinion on city council elections, term limits, as well as mayoral elections. Steve King joins us live at Carver High School, the site of tonight's meeting. Steve.
Talitha, well, Republican state representatives Deborah Conrad and Donnie Lambeth tried to get House Bill 519 passed, but failed. Now, that bill would have reduced the number of wards in Winston-Salem, and some lawmakers said it would have been discriminatory if passed. But now the bill's co-sponsors, along with Mayor Alan Joines, are examining whether any changes to the city's charter need to be made in general, and they will forward those proposed changes to the city council and to the General Assembly via a commission at a later time. Now, city leaders say the General Assembly can change the city's charter down the road anyway. So this commission will serve to at least record the will of the public and other local experts regarding any potential changes. Among the topics that folks will get to weigh in on at a public meeting tonight are how many elected officials there should be in Winston-Salem, whether council members should be elected at large or by district, the number of total districts, and the process for selecting the mayor.
I think the city council, the commission, and even the representatives at the General Assembly would love to get a diversity of thought on the issues at hand, and the more people you can get out and the more input you can get, the better recommendations you can make for how local governance should be done here in Winston-Salem.
Now, tonight's public input meeting began at 6 just a few minutes ago here at Carver High School. There are also public input meetings tomorrow and Thursday, and you can find the details for those meetings on our website, WXII12.com. Reporting live in Winston-Salem, Steve King, WXII 12 News.
Thank you, Steve. To our nation's capital now, where the president's defense team wrapped up opening arguments in the Senate impeachment trial. Now the question is, will any witnesses be called? Of course, in an upcoming book, former national security advisor to President Trump, John Bolton, says the president told him he wanted to withhold military aid to Ukraine until Ukraine's president announced investigations into Democratic rival Joe Biden and his family. Democrats say they'd very much like to hear from Bolton, but the president's lawyers are trying to downplay Bolton's upcoming book.
Are you going to allow proceedings on impeachment to go from a New York Times report about someone that says what they hear is in a manuscript?
Mr. Sekulow, President Trump, we want to get witnesses. You can bring Bolton right into this chamber and he can swear under oath and be cross-examined by you.
The question period begins tomorrow. We could hear from the president tonight about the impeachment trial. He is holding a rally this evening in New Jersey. And there are several ways to continue to watch all of the impeachment events. Again, it's set to resume tomorrow. It's going to air on MeTV, our website, WXII12.com. You can also stream it for free on our Facebook page and the free WXII 12 News mobile app.
More and more people are dying from the coronavirus in China. Now the United States is trying to evacuate citizens. China is reporting more than 4,500 cases, most of which originated in the city of Wuhan. More than 100 people have died. The CDC is warning people not to travel to certain parts of China, and it's expanding airport screenings as well. Healthcare workers are now checking passengers at 20 U.S. airports who have a fever, cough, or shortness of breath.
Americans should know that this is a potentially very serious public health threat. But at this point, Americans should not worry for their own safety.
Doctors are treating 5 people for the coronavirus in the United States. There are 2 cases in California, along with cases in Washington, Illinois, as well as Arizona. Doctors say all 5 of those patients traveled to Wuhan, China. Doctors say you should definitely wash your hands frequently and cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze, a lot like when you're trying to avoid getting the flu. If you are traveling, you can wear a mask.
Looking ahead, a pastor from Wilkes County charged with more than 100 sex offenses is expected to be in court tomorrow. Deputies arrested Rodney Luffman last week. Investigators say the crimes involved children between the ages of 4 and 16. Deputies say offenses against 2 of the victims occurred over a period of 15 years. Mr. Luffman's bond was set at $1 million.
An Asheboro man charged with human trafficking bonded out of jail. Salvador Espinoza Escobar is accused of holding a woman in sexual servitude. Deputies say information from the National Human Trafficking Tip Line led to his arrest. Espinoza Escobar was the first human trafficking suspect arrested by Randolph County deputies.